Hello, and welcome to basically Bloodbowl. It's the start of a new week, it's New Miniature Monday, and once again, GW have graced us with another Bloodbowl star player. So let's take a look. So, as mentioned in the Sunday community post, Games Workshop have released something special for Bloodbowl. The Flashing Blade himself, Dark Elves star player, Jeremiah Kool, and he looks superb. Now, I wasn't sure on first glance, but the more I've looked at the model, the more I like it. It's a nice dynamic pose which emphasises the speed and agility of the player, and in the face we've got an older elf, which fits the lore. We've never had much to go on, bar a static picture in Spike 2, so this is a nice upgrade. Moving on to the lore, the community page as usual is vague on detail, but we can delve a bit heavier into Jeremiah's backstory. So, he was brought into the dark side cowboy side following an absolute fiasco of a match against the Kishigo Werebears, which lasted many days and led to the death or disablement of all players involved. An incredible physical specimen with a malicious streak wider than the Sea of Chill, Kool excelled in all roles and over several years developed many new tricks and plays that will bewilder the opposition and captivate the fans. Tiring of the classical roles which elves force players into and believing them to hamper play, frustrated at seeing many of their star throwers' perfect passes intercepted by opposition players whom they held in utter contempt, and absolutely over being clotheslined by common thugs when attempting to catch a pass, the Cowboys players were quick to adopt Kool's new ideas. And indeed his most infamous trick became known as the dump off, and led to no end of wild accusations from other teams who believed at first that the enigmatic Dark Elf was using a magical means to teleport a ball from his grasp to the hands of a teammate rather than face an honest block in the time-honoured tradition. They thought a ball carrier should take their lumps, but not Kool, who became suddenly and perhaps even magically free of the ball and then displayed a tendency to respond in kind to a block with flashes of murderous violence. And as accusations of illegal use of magic flooded in, one pundit finally cottoned on to what was going on. Kool was waiting until the last split second, and even as he reacted viciously to being blocked, he would pass the ball to a nearby teammate with a speed and accuracy that boggled the mind and fooled the eye. With the ball safe, he ensured that however the block was resolved, his team retained possession and play would continue on. But following the Cowboys' win at the infamous championship game of the 87-88 season and the collapse of the NEF, Kool decided to retire. And despite his young age, he swore never to return. But over time, his legend has diminished. And when people start discussing the best of all time, they look at new stars such as Jordell Freshbreeze. And as a result, rumours are that Jeremiah is returning to the pitch to show once and for all who the best star player of all time is. Back to the article, and it notes that he still has movement 8, but that his agility is now an incredible 1+, meaning that without negative additions, Jeremiah is guaranteed to pass an agility test. He also retains block, dodge, diving catch and dump off, although it's unknown whether he keeps his old skills, kick-off return, nerves of steel, pass and sidestep. But it's clear that Jeremiah Kool is one of the best players in the game, especially if he has these additional skills, and the rest of his old stats, which are shown on screen. And there's also the matter of his special skill, coined after his nickname, the Flashing Blade. This reads as, once per game, at the start of an activation, Jeremiah may declare a stab action against an opposition player he is marking. After performing the stab special action, he may then perform a move action before his activation ends. Now, I imagine his move action still may warrant an agility roll to dodge, but high edge and the dodge skill means that this shouldn't be too much of a risk anyway. A nice special skill, not too overpowered, but definitely useful to have. Jeremiah can play for all Elven Kingdom League teams now, so not just tied to the Dark Elves. So now Elven Union, High Elves and Wood Elves all get access. And he is some player to have. At 320,000 gold, he is pricey, especially for elf teams, where position will soak a lot of money up anyway. But if you've got the luxury, he's almost a must-have, not too dissimilar to Grip Overworld. Because he's a star, he is a Forge World resin model, which is expected, and the article details that he will be available later in the year, which means we'll see Jeremiah before Christmas. And with star players stacking up in Rashnak, Hanky Panky, Gufflepussmore and Rorana too, it seems we'll see at least a multiple release of some, if not all of them soon. And that's not to say we won't see any more arrive either, with several more I've detailed in separate videos. In conclusion, I think the model is great. I like the sculpt, I like the skills and stats, and it's the first real must-have star player for a long time, and especially if you have an elf team. And that's all from me. So until next time, ciao for now.